Hello children, and welcome to today's collective worship. And we're going to start all together and say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Okay, so today children, we are going to be thinking about how we can understand and respect the changes that you might see in other people. So in our Changing Me theme in Jigsaw, we've been thinking about how changes might affect us, but we also need to think about how changes might affect other people and what we might see when that happens. So we're going to use a story from the Bible to help us think about this today. And the story is one that you know very well, which is of Noah's Ark. And this is probably, as you remember, how God brought change to the world. So as we're going through the story, I want you to think, well, what changes did we see perhaps in the grown-ups? And we'll remind ourselves at the end what we've seen. So the story starts like this. In the beginning, God created a perfect and wonderful world, filled with beauty and love. But many years later, when God looked down on the earth, he saw that earth had gone wrong. God thought that the world had become filled with people who did bad things. They weren't very nice people. He was very, very sad that he'd actually made the world. So while people were fighting and cheating and not being very nice to each other, God decided to destroy all those people on the earth. But just as God was thinking about this, he changed his thoughts and he saw a man called Noah. Noah believed in God and prayed to him every single day. So here is one honest man. He is kind and loving and good, and he is somebody that is worth saving. He hasn't done anything bad, and he hasn't been unkind to anyone. God spoke to Noah and said, "Now listen carefully. I have something very important to tell you. The world that I created has gone wrong. I want to destroy this world, and I need you to help me change it so that between us, we can create a whole new world." Noah couldn't believe it. He said, "You mean to change everything and every living creature that you created?" God told Noah that he wanted him to build an ark to save him, his wife, and also his 3 sons. He told him exactly what he needed to do. Noah was a little bit unsure. He thought, why has God changed? Why has he changed his mind about the world? "I won't destroy every living creature," God said. And he told Noah, as well as his family, that he wanted him to take 2 of every kind of animal in the land to go on the ark with him. Noah started building the ark straight away. Noah's wife wondered, what was he doing? "Noah, why? What are you doing?" And Noah said to his wife, "God was talking to me today. Yes, he told me that the world has become so bad and so evil that he has to change it, and he's going to destroy it all with a flood. But he's promised to save you, me, and our sons, and he's also promised to save 2 of every animal in the land." But Noah's wife was very worried. Why has God changed? Why has he changed his mind about the earth? She also said, "But Noah, what's an ark?" "It's a very big boat," God said. "It's going to have rooms inside it like a house. It's got to be big enough to hold 2 of every creature in the land." So Noah got busy right away. He looked for trees, lots and lots of trees, because he needed enough wood for making the ark. He needed to make sure that the ark was going to be big enough to house not only his family, but all the animals and as well. It took Noah many, many years to actually find the wood and then build the ark. Many of Noah's friends and neighbours kept coming and asking him, "What are you doing, Noah?" Noah explained to them that God told me to build a great big boat. It's going to be a safe place for anyone who wants to be saved from the flood. But all the people just laughed at Noah. They said, "A flood? What are you talking about? You mean water's going to come out of the sky and drown us all?" "I've never heard such a crazy thing in all my life," said all of Noah's neighbours. "What a load of rubbish. You really do make us laugh, Noah," they said. But Noah understood the change that God wanted to make in the world. Noah understood what God wanted to do. After a long time working hard on the ark, it was finished and it was time to load up for their journey. Noah was still hoping that other people would apologize to God and come on the boat as well. "Come on in," Noah told his neighbours. "There's enough food for all of you." Be sorry to God and say so to him. Tell him you're sorry for the way you behaved, and you will be saved from the flood. But everybody was still laughing at Noah. They, in fact, thought that Noah was crazy. They didn't realise that the world was about to change forever. The people watched in amazement as the animals and birds and insects of every kind made their way towards the ark. The animals climbed in 2 by 2. Noah gave the people one last chance and said, "The great flood is coming, everybody. The whole world is going to be destroyed. Please come inside before it's too late." Suddenly, the door began to close and the people didn't have a chance to get on the boat. God had closed it. And just as he did, the dark clouds started to move in. The people couldn't believe their eyes. Water's coming from the sky, just like Noah said. The old man was right. The floodgates of heaven were opened, and all the water above the earth came pouring down on top of them. The desperate people, wild with fear, started pounding on the door of the ark. "Let us in, let us in." But God did not forgive them. It was too late because they had laughed at Noah. God was not going to change his mind. And as you can see, the thunder and the lightning crashed against the boat. And as the stormy waves rolled over, all those people were drowned in the flood. All of them except Noah, his family, and all the animals on the ark. As the ark sailed away, and after many days of sailing, the land started to dry out. Then one day, the bottom of the ark hit some dry land. Noah said, "I know it's hard, but we have to wait for God. We have to wait for when he tells us we can get off the ark. He will tell us, I am sure." Later, Noah decided to send out a dove. She came back in the evening with a leaf in her beak. Noah praised God. This means that not only are the waters going down, but there must be trees growing on the land. Let's open the ark door and let all the animals loose now, shall we? Said Noah's son. Noah said, no, we have to wait until God tells us to. He may need a little more time to grow enough plants and grass to feed the animals before we let them all out. At last, the great door creaked open, and there up in the sky they saw a glorious glowing arch of many colours. God spoke to Noah and said, I have put a rainbow in the sky as a promise to you and every single creature that I will never again send a flood to destroy the earth. And this will remind you to make the world a wonderful place. At first, Noah didn't understand the change that God wanted to make in the world. He could see that God was very cross and sad with the way people had behaved. But now he recognized why God wanted to make that change. And he looked outside, he saw the rainbow, and he saw the beauty around him. And this is why, whenever we see a rainbow, we should think about what God and Noah did and the beauty and the world they created around us. So we've heard a story that's helped us understand how sometimes we can see changes in people. We're not quite sure why, but eventually it does start to make sense to us. So we're going to finish our collective worship by putting our hands together. If you want to just listen to the prayer, you can, and close your eyes. But as we look at the candle and we think about the Bible in the picture as well, think about the story we've just heard, and also look at the rainbow and think, we really do have beauty in our world around us. So let's just say a prayer. Dear God, thank you for being with me all the time, especially when things are different or changing. You know exactly how this can make us feel, in our bodies as well as in our thoughts. Thank you that our feelings are important to you. Help us to share those feelings with people who care. Give us courage to accept change, to try new and different situations, knowing that you are there to help and guide us. Amen. Okay. So hopefully that's helped you think about our theme that we're focusing on this week. And if we don't understand a change that we recognise in somebody, you can always talk to them and ask them and say, how can I help? We can't all do what God did, but we can help others. And sometimes when someone's showing a change in their behaviour, we might need to help them. So always remember to be that special friend if you need to be. Thank you for listening today, children. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you for listening. And we're going to finish by saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you, children. See you all soon. Bye for now. Bye.